اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور. اللهم اغني كل فقير. اللهم اشبع كل جائع. اللهم اكسو كل عريان. اللهم اقضي دين كل مدين. اللهم فرج عن كل مكروب. اللهم رد كل غريب. اللهم فك كل أسير. اللهم اصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين. اللهم اشفي كل مريض. اللهم سد فقرنا بغناك. اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك. اللهم اقضي عنا الدين واغننا من الفقر، إنك على كل شيء قدير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. يا علي يا عظيم يا غفور يا رحيم. أنت الرب العظيم الذي ليس كمثله شيء، وهو السميع البصير. وهذا شهر عظمته وكرمته وشرفته وفضلته على الشهور، وهو الشهر الذي فرضت صيامه علي، وهو شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. وجعلت فيه ليلة القدر وجعلتها خيرا من 1000 شهر. فيا ذا المن ولا يمن عليك، من علي بفكاك رقبتي من النار فيمن تمن عليه، وادخلني الجنة برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم اللہم لک صمت وعلی رزقک افطرت وعلیک توکلت بسم اللہ اللہم لک صمنا وعلی رزقک افطرنا فتقبل منا انک انت السمیع العلیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم یا واسع المغفرة اغفر لي اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
لب سے علی کی جام شہادت قریب ہے گردش میں آسمانوں زمین کا نصیب ہے اور کیا پوچھتے ہو قلب کی حالت عجیب ہے چہرہ بجھا ہوا ہے ہر ایک خاص و عام کا غم لے کے چاند آیا ہے ماہ سیام کا غم لے کے چاند آیا ہے ماہ سیام کا اور بیٹوں سے کہہ رہے ہیں شہنشاہ مشرقین اور یہ گھر ہے اب تمہارے حوالے حسن حسین زہرا کی بیٹیوں کا نہ اجڑے سکون و چین اور ہم جا رہے ہیں وقت نہیں اب قیام کا غم لے کے چاند آیا ہے ماہ سیام کا اور ٹوٹیں گے آہ کو ستم تم پا بار بار اور روح بطول پاک کہاں پائے گی قرار اور غم کی گھٹائیں چھائیں گی بے حد و بے شمار اور ہوگا گما سحر پا نگاہوں کو شام کا غم لے کے چاند آیا ہے ماہ سیام کا اور اے مومنو یہ رات قیامت کی رات ہے اور اے مومنو یہ رات قیامت کی رات ہے رنج و الم میں ڈوبی ہوئی کائنات ہے، اور بجھنے کو اب علی کا چراغ حیات ہے، اور تغیر حال ہوتا ہے شاہ انام کا، غم لے کے چاند آیا ہے ماہ سیام کا، اور ضربت علی کے سر پا لگائی دہائی ہے، اور تیغ ستم دلوں پا چلائی دہائی ہے، اور روح بطول خلد سے آئی دہائی ہے، اور ماتم کرو امام علیہ السلام کا، غم لے کے چاند آیا ہے ماہ سیام کا، اور حسنین رو کے کہتے ہیں دل کو نہیں قرار، اور آواز دی علی نے کہ بچوں پدھر نثار، آ کر ہمارے سینے سے لگ جاؤ ایک بار، اور عزم سفر ہے وقت نہیں اب قیام کا، غم لے کے چاند آیا ہے ماہ سیام کا، اور سدرا سے جبرائیل پکارے بسد بکا، یہ رنج یہ تاب یہ علم و مصیبت، بچوں کے سر سے باپ کا سایہ بھی اٹھ گیا، بچوں کے سر سے باپ کا سایہ بھی اٹھ گیا، اور برپائے رنگ جہاں میں ہے ماتم امام کا، غم لے کے چاند آیا ہے ماہ سیام کا۔ صلوات پڑھیے پر محمد و آل محمد۔ فاتحہ۔ بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم، اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد، اللہم صلی علی محمد۔ بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم، الحمدللہ رب العالمین الرحمن الرحیم مالک یوم الدین، ایاک نعبد و ایاک نستعین، صراط المستقیم صراط المستقیم غیر المغضوب علیہم ولا الضالین۔ زخمی ہوئے جو حیدرو صفدر نماز میں، زخمی ہوئے جو حیدرو صفدر نماز میں، شمشیر ظلم چل گئی سر پر نماز میں، اور گلگوں ہوئی جبینیں منور نماز میں، سر تا قدم لہو سے ہوئے تر نماز میں سرتا قدم لہو سے ہوئے تر نماز میں، اور صدمہ ہوا یہ سن کے صغیر و کبیر کو، اور زخمی کیا ہے مومنوں کے دستگیر کو، زخمی کیا ہے مومنوں کے دستگیر کو۔ اور لو صاحبوں امام کی رحلت قریب ہے، اور ہنگام حشر وقت قیامت قریب ہے، آقا کی ہم غلاموں سے رخصت قریب ہے، اور باغ جناب عید ہے، جنت قریب ہے، باغ جناب عید ہے، جنت قریب ہے، اور صدمے سے انس و جنوں ملک جان کھوئیں گے، اور آقا ہمارے مر گئے یہ کہہ کے روئیں گے، آقا ہمارے مر گئے یہ کہہ کے روئیں گے، اور تھے دم بدم زیادہ نبی زادیوں کے بین، اور تھمتا نہیں تھا خون سرے فاتح حنین، باشندگان یثرب و بطحا کو تھا نہ چین، اور چھپ چھپ کے روتے پھرتے تھے ہر سو حسن حسین، اور چھپ چھپ کے روتے پھرتے تھے ہر سو حسن حسین، اور کیا دل کو تھام کے نزدیک جو گیا، اور رنگے جناب شیر خدا بولے سوا ہے عمر میں شبیر شک نہیں، ان کا رہے خیال مگر میرے میں جبی، ان کا رہے خیال مگر میرے میں جبی، اور ان میں نہ ہو قصور وفا کے جو کام ہے، اور ہوشیار تم حسین سے اب ہم تمام ہیں، ہوشیار تم حسین سے اب ہم تمام ہیں، اور عباس سے یہ کہتے ہی چپ ہو گئے علی، اور تکبیر غش میں حیدر کرار نے کہی، اور زینب ہوئی یتیم قضا مرتضیٰ نے کی، اور واہ حسرتا کے جان بدن سے نکل گئی، واہ حسرتا کے جان بدن سے نکل گئی، اور دونوں جہاں کے مالکوں مختار مر گئے، اور آئی ندا کے حیدر کرار مر گئے، آئی ندا کے حیدر کرار مر گئے، زخمی ہوئے جو حیدروں۔
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين سيما بقية الله الأعظم روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Thanks for joining us. Today's topic: Islam without Imam Ali is not Islam at all. When we look at the relationship of Imam Ali to Islam, we see that it's a very deep-rooted relationship. Both Islam and Imam Ali were raised and brought up by the same man. If Rasulullah raised Islam, the same Rasulullah raised Imam Ali. They both are akin to each other and close in affinity to each other. When we see the role of Imam Ali in Islam, we need to ask the question: is accepting Imam Ali as the Imam one of the wajib actions of Islam? Or does it go deeper than that? That it is one of the main obligations of Islam. Like, for example, prayer. Being one of the main obligations, is acceptance of Imam Ali one of the main obligations? Or does it go even deeper than that? That the acceptance of Imam Ali is essential to Islam itself. It is a condition for Islam. Otherwise, without it, it would not be Islam at all. Like, for example, Tawheed. Like, for example, Nabuwat. Without Tawheed, there is no Islam. No one can say, for example, I pray and fast, but I don't believe in Allah. What's the use of the prayer and the fasting then? Or, for example, if someone says, I pray 5 times a day and I fast and I go for Hajj, but I don't believe in the Prophet. I don't think he was a messenger. So obviously, the fasting and prayer, all of that is useless. So, is Imam Ali like that to Islam? That he is necessary, without which it is not Islam at all? Is he indispensable to Islam? That is a question that we want to ask and answer today in this time that we have. So let's start right away and go to the Quran. I chose this verse of the Quran, which is known by most Shias by heart and many of other people also, in Surah Ma'idah, ayat number 67. Because in this chapter, Allah is asking the Prophet to make an announcement. And the reason this ayat is strange and also one of its kind in the whole Quran is because in this ayat, Allah actually has made a threat to the Prophet about not delivering the message, not making the announcement. That is strange because he has never done that before. Whatever Allah has said to the Prophet, he has done without any fault, error, or hesitation. The Prophet is always ready to do Allah's work, never step back from doing it. But in this ayat, Allah gives that threat that if you don't do this, then there's consequences for that. So here, let me first translate the ayat and then we'll go into the different aspect of this ayat and figure out what is it that Allah wants to speak about here and what is that message that he wants to give. So here Allah says, Ya ayyuhar rasul, O prophet, messenger who's giving my messages. Balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. Announce to them that which Allah has given you. He has revealed to you. Announce that to the people. Deliver that to the people. Wa in lam taf'al. Now here's a threat. Wa in lam taf'al, and if you do not do that, if you do not announce it, if you do not deliver it, fama ballaghta risalata. You have not announced anything at all. Meaning this issue, if you do not say it, then you haven't said anything at all. All that you have said is going to be worthless if you don't give this message. Wallahu ya'simuka minan nas. Allah will protect you from the people. Don't worry about these people. Allah is going to protect you against them. Inna Allah la yahdil qawm al-kafirin. And Allah does not guide the people who are infidels. So He will not let this message reach them. Don't worry, they cannot do anything to you. So this is the ayat. In short, this is the translation of the ayat. Now let's go and see what does this ayat actually mean. What can be so important in Islam that without it, everything else is useless? What is that one issue in Islam that without it, everything else is rejected? So this issue is obviously very crucial to Allah and to Islam, that Allah is speaking of it in these terms. Some people theorize when it comes to this ayat that, well, no, actually Allah is speaking about the whole message and telling the Prophet that Islam is like a puzzle. If one of the pieces is missing, then the puzzle is incomplete. So all the obligations and all the haram things make up Islam, and if one of them is missing, it would be incomplete. And that's what Allah wants to say in this ayat. Well, if that is true, and that could only be true if all the actions in Islam were the same. If all the wajibat were at the same level, and if all the haram things are at the same level, and if every message is of the same importance, then yes, each and everything is dependent on each other. And they're all a big part of a whole. And if one of them is missing, it will make the whole incomplete. So let's see, is that the case? When we look at different aspects of Islam, we'll see that. In wajib things, Hajj is wajib, fasting is wajib. Allah tells and makes it wajib in the Quran, both Hajj and fasting. But tell me, if someone goes for Hajj and doesn't fast, is his Hajj invalid? Or if someone fasts but doesn't go for Hajj, does that fasting become invalid? Which wajib is dependent on which wajib? All of them, and we all agree on this, all the Muslims agree on this, if you don't fast, you can still go for Hajj, your Hajj is still accepted. And if you don't go for Hajj, you can still fast. Or for example, Zakat and Amr bil Ma'ruf, both of them are wajib. To pay Zakat is wajib. So now, if you don't pay Zakat, but you do Amr bil Ma'ruf, you love to tell people what to do, so you do Amr bil Ma'ruf, but you don't give Zakat. Is your Amr bil Ma'ruf rejected? Does Allah say, no, if you do Zakat, then I'll accept this? Or for example, if you give Zakat, but you don't do Amr bil Ma'ruf, you are one of the nice guys who don't say anything to anyone. So if you're like that, does anyone say that no, your Zakat is not accepted if you don't do Amr bil Ma'ruf? So one wajib is not dependent on the other wajib. We all know that. And they're not the same. For example, two haram things aren't the same. Looking at a woman is haram. For example, someone who's non-mahram to you and you look at her, it's haram. And doing zina and adultery is haram. But they're not the same. One is greater than the other in its gravity, in its severity. So we understand that. If then this theory is incorrect, so let's now just go and find out what is that one thing in Islam that Allah is speaking about in this ayat, that if you do not do this, then the rest of the Islam is not accepted, and the person who is rejecting this is called a kafir by Allah. Yes, he is called a kafir. Allah says, Wallahu ya'simuka minan nas, inna Allah la yahdi al-qawm al-kafirin. Allah does not guide the people who are kafir. And so that person would be a kafir who rejects this, because the Islam is not being accepted. This issue is important. Now I'm going to mention some of the things that we can derive from this ayat. Some things on the outward, we don't even need to go deeply, just looking at the meaning of it. 9 things I wrote down that you can derive from this ayat as to what Allah is saying. First, number 1, the Prophet has a fear of public outrage. When you look at this ayat, it shows that Allah, when He tells the Prophet, don't be afraid of the people, it means that Prophet is afraid of the people, or is having some sort of fear regarding the reaction of the people. Now, when you look at that, the Prophet is not someone who's going to be scared to give the message. If Rasulullah was in the outset of Islam alone and stood up against the rigid animosity of the kuffar and infidels of Makkah, when they threatened his life, when they started bribing him and they started coercing him, and all of the things that they did in terms of torture, if Rasulullah did not bow down there and stop his message and delivering Allah's message, why would he now be afraid of doing that? So it is not because of a lack of courage that the Prophet has a fear. The fear is something else. But we see that there is a fear. Number 2, Allah reassures him with the promise of protection. Allah reassures the Prophet that I am going to protect you. No matter what happens, I am going to protect you. Third, this issue has more value than the rest of Islam. Why? Because Allah is saying that if you don't do this, nothing else will be accepted. So it has more value. If it's not accepted, number 4, if it's not accepted, then the whole of Islam is nullified. If you don't accept this, then the prayer, fasting, Hajj, Zakat, all of these things are nullified. If you don't accept this one issue, this is just from the outside of the Quran we are learning this. We don't even need to go to tafsir for this. We are just learning it as to what Allah is saying clearly in the Quran. People will protest and dispute this issue. That's another thing we get out of it. Because Allah says that He will protect you from the people, it means that the people will rise up, they will object to the message and to this issue. And Allah is going to protect you. So there is the fear of the objection of people, and Allah is saying they will. The Prophet is aware of the objection of the people that's going to happen. That's number 7. The people who are going to protest are Muslims, not kuffar. It's the Muslims who are going to protest. Why? Because the kuffar are defeated, they're gone, they're eradicated from Arabia. Now the only people that are left there are Muslims. So when you look at Muslims, it's the Muslims that are going to protest and object to this message that is being given in this ayat. And number 9, this ayat and the issue about this ayat is going to change Islam into kufr. Meaning anyone who claims to be a Muslim, if he rejects this issue, is going to become a kafir. This is really important and it's crucial, and we are hitting the crux of the matter. Now, let's see what this issue can be. What is this issue that is so important to Allah, that Allah is saying that nothing in Islam, that Islam will not remain unless this issue is established? So now, let me just go into the types of Muslims there are, because Allah is speaking to these Muslims, and we need to understand that first, because we need to know the audience at that moment. Muslims are not the same type. They are those people who are true and sincere amongst the Muslims. These people who are steadfast and they do believe that Allah is there, and they do believe that the Quran is divine, and they do believe that Rasulullah came from Allah as a messenger. Then there's the hypocrites who do not believe this at all. In fact, they ridicule it. And they are just hiding in the disguise of Islam because they have no other choice now. Then you have the insincere people. They're like, okay, accepted it, but they really are like in doubts of their own. They have their own mindset, their own thoughts, and their own ideas. They're also there amongst Muslims. Then you have the simple-minded people, which is always the case in any society. You will have simple-minded people who believe in anything. They go along with anything. Their faith is not deep-rooted, and they will accept anyone who says anything, and they'll go along with that. So that's one group of people. And then there's the fifth group of people who follow the law of the land. They're citizens of the country. Now they look at the Prophet as the new ruler of Arabia. So since he is the new king and the new ruler, so he's going to make the laws and we are going to follow the laws. They don't believe that there's a God or some divine revelation or any of these things. He is just the ruler of the land. And a lot of the people who accepted the Prophet in Islam after the conquest of Makkah fall into this category. They fall into this category. To them, Rasulullah is a king. He is a king. He is the ruler. He can do whatever he wants. We are under him. So it's better just to go along and do what he says. Do they believe that there's revelation, divine revelation? No, they don't. Do they believe that the messenger is from Allah? No, they don't. All they know is that he is the boss now. He is the chief and we just have to listen to him and everything will be all right, because that's the law of the land. So in this regard, when we look at these people, the message, if has to be given regarding this important issue, that Allah is saying that if it's not accepted, then the rest of Islam is not accepted, cannot be given in some normal setting or an ordinary circumstance. For example, Allah is saying, hey, listen, pork is haram and don't buy meat from haram places, and Ali is your wali, and and here we go. It cannot be like that, because if this message is so important, then the setting and the venue and the location and the onset of what Allah wants to give has to be extraordinary. It has to be exceptional. It has to be special. It can't just come on a normal occasion like the 10 ayat for today that came down. One of them is that Ali is the wali and that Ali is the leader, or announcement for leadership. And by the way, there's an asterisk next to this one out of the 10 ayat that came down today, that if you don't accept this, everything else is useless. It can't be like that. It has to be special. And that's why the ayat came down, but the occasion was delayed. The occasion was delayed until the right occasion. Allah wants to stamp this message in such a remarkable way, in such a historical event, that everyone who was there is going to remember it. They cannot forget it. It's going to be memorable. Is going to be memorable. And that occasion came in Ghadir Qum. In Ghadir Qum, the occasion came for this message. Rasulullah, in the middle of nowhere, stopped himself, stopped the caravan, called the people back, waited for the people to come who were lagging behind. And everyone in the middle of nowhere is wondering, why did we stop here for? It's hot. There's no shade. Why are we here? There's a message to be given. Okay, can't we wait until we get to Medina? I mean, all the other messages were in decent places. Why we come over here in the middle of nowhere to give this message? It had to be done that way, so it remains in the minds and hearts of people forever that this message is not just any ordinary message. It is the central crux of Islam. Without it, there is no Islam. And that's when Everyone was gathered, the stage was set. Rasulullah in that special gathering brought out Imam Ali in front of the people, announced his leadership, and he made him the successor and said, he is my successor, Allah's representative, and your leader after me. And after saying that and establishing Imam Ali as that, he asked everyone to congratulate Ali. No other ayat, if you look in the history of all the ayat that came down in the Shan and Nuzul of every ayat that came down, no ayat got this sort of treatment that this ayat got. Why? Because it is the foundation of every other message. Is the foundation of Islam. So now what was it? Allah says, after revealing it, Al-Yawm akmaltu lakum dinakum. Today I have completed your religion. Meaning without this, religion is incomplete. I have completed my favors unto you. All the blessings have been given to you through this message. وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمُ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا. And I am pleased as Islam. I'm pleased with Islam as a religion. In other words, without this, I am not pleased. So Islam is complete with this message. Without it, neither is Islam complete, neither is Allah happy with that Islam that doesn't have Ali in it. So in short, my friends, Ali's leadership is so crucial to Islam that Allah is saying in the Quran that without Ali, Islam is incomplete. In fact, it's not Islam at all. You can call it anything else you want. You can give it an Arabic name or a foreign name or anything like that. It cannot be Islam. It can only be Islam if Ali is the leader of that movement. That is the only place where it could be Islam. And this is not something new. For example, Allah rejecting the actions in the prayers, in the obedience, in the service of people who served him when they rejected his representative is not a new thing. In fact, in the Quran, Allah has mentioned this, and in the history, He has shown this in the example of Shaitan. Yes, Shaitan worshipped Allah for 6,000 years. For 6,000 years, he served Allah, worshiped Allah, had no problem in praying to Allah and bowing down before Him and prostrating before Him, had no problem with that. And the one mistake that he made is that he refused to make sajda before Adam. Adam, who's Adam? Allah's Khalifa. Allah says, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. I am making a Khalifa on the earth. So, Adam was the Khalifa that Allah has made, representative that Allah has made. And Shaitan said, well, one thing I won't do. Everything else I'll do. I'll pray, I'll serve, I will be obedient and everything except for this one thing. And when you don't do that thing, what happens? Well, here's what happens. Allah says, إِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ أُسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ. He told the heavenly beings to make sajda to Adam, and they all did except for Iblis. أَبَى وَاسْتَكْبَرَ وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. He refused, he was arrogant, and he is a kafir. After 6,000 years of worship and obedience and service, Allah announced without any hesitation, you are a kafir. That's it. So to Allah, He doesn't care if you just prayed for 23 years. If He doesn't care for 6,000 years, then 23 years is nothing. And that's how long the Prophet announced Islam until his death. So if you are a Muslim for 23 years, to Allah, that's nothing. If you do not accept the Khalifa that Allah has appointed, then it is not Islam at all. That becomes kufr. And such was the case with a person who protested right away. He protested to what happened, came to the Prophet and said, tell me, this appointment of Ali, is this your idea or is this Allah's idea? In front of everyone. And everyone was there watching him. He said, is your idea or is it Allah's idea? If it's your idea, I refuse to accept it. And if it's Allah's idea, then let Allah send a punishment on me, an azab on me. So, a stone came from the heavens, from the sky, and fell right through this person, smashing him. Everyone saw it. They looked at him. He was flattened. He was completely annihilated. And then this verse came down after this happened. Sa'ala sa'ilun bi'adhabin waqi'in lil kafirin. The questioner asked about the adhab and the punishment that is meant for the infidels. In other words, anyone who opposes this message of mine is going to be branded and kafir and infidel, and he is going to get the punishment of an infidel. So this has become clear now, that the relationship of Ali to Islam is that Ali is indispensable to Islam. He is central to Islam. Without Ali, there is no Islam. Without Ali's imamat, there is no Islam. Without Ali's wilayat, there is no Islam. You can claim it as much as you want. You can have as many numbers as you want. It won't matter. Rasulullah had said that if you see the whole ummah going one way, and if you see Ali going this way, then just go with Ali and you will be safe. If you go with the other ones, then you are going to get drowned with the rest of the ummah. So Ali himself is heavier than the rest of the ummah, is more important than the rest of the ummah, and Islam is going to go with him no matter where the ummah is going, no matter where the nation is going. It doesn't matter. And this is something that Allah is clearly mentioning in the Quran and in the ayat of the Quran. Now in reality also such was the case. When there are situations in Islam that Imam Ali was the only protector of the deen and the only protector of Islam, and if he wasn't there, Islam had reached a point of breaking down, of being annihilated, and it was Ali who took Islam out of that danger and brought it out into safety. Look, in every battlefield, in every place you see, I give you the example of the Battle of Khandaq. In the Battle of Khandaq, where a person by the name of Amr ibn Abdullah had challenged the Muslims, no one was ready to fight him. He challenged them, no one was ready to fight him. And so Imam Ali, the only one who was willing to fight him. And that was it. All the Muslims were there, all the kuffar were there. This was the final meeting and the final blow that the kuffar wanted to deal on the Muslim, so that the Muslims can be annihilated once and for all. And at that point, Rasulullah sent Ali. And as Ali was walking towards Amr ibn Abdul Wad, Rasulullah announced to the people, Baradat iman kullahu ila kufr kullihi. Today, as you see this happening, this venue is where the whole of Iman and the whole of Islam is fighting the whole of Kufr. Meaning that this point is where things and fate is going to be decided for our belief and our faith and our religion. Right now, the whole of religion is on the line in the hands of this young man. Allah trusted him so much that he put the whole of deen in his hands and said, you go there and you are going to save Islam from annihilation. And Ali went there and he killed the whole of Kufr, killed it. And as he killed it, that's when Rasulullah looked at that, heard that, and said, Darabatu Ali yawm al-Qandaq afdalu min ibadat al-Thaqalain. That strike of Ali on the day of Khandaq is greater than the worship of all the worlds and everyone in it put together. Why? Because that worship would be useless if it wasn't for Ali. Ali was the central savior of Islam. He saved Islam from utter annihilation. Ali was that person to do that. In reality, Allah has said in the Quran, He has told us that Imamat is the necessary part of Islam, just like Tawheed is. But in reality also, Ali, in every level, in every place and nook and corner wherever Islam was in danger, took Islam out of its danger and brought it to safety. This was Imam Ali. No better helper can be there for Allah's religion. No better person can be there to save Allah's religion. No greater soul could be found to bring the message of Allah out of any sort of danger to its safety and brought it out there. This was Ali. And that person, if Imam Ali is going to die, it cannot be a normal death also. Because such a person cannot just have a normal person, ordinary person come and kill him. Cannot be some accidental blow in a battlefield where Ali dies. No, if Ali has to go, it has to go. He has to go, just like his birth that was in the Kaaba, where the Kaaba was split open so that his mother can come in there, and his announcement of Imamat that is on the day of Ghadir that was so special. So his death also has to be special. It has to be extraordinary. It has to be memorable. Yes, my friends, the one who kills him cannot be just some accidental person who comes along and kills them. Rasulullah has said this. He told Imam Ali, Atadri man ashkal awwaleen? He says, do you know who is Ashkal Awwaleen? Ashka means the most wretched, the worst person that you can find on earth. The scum of the scum. If you look all the scum together in a lineup, this person would take the award for the scum of the earth. So, do you know who the Ashkal Awwaleen are? The most wretched people from the beginning of time? He said, yes. It is the person who killed the camel of Saleh. That story that is mentioned in the Quran. That camel of Saleh, this person who killed it, actually did the killing. That person is the most wretched at the beginning of time. Then Rasulullah asked him, Afatadri man ashkal akhirin? Do you know who is the most wretched of the last people? And Imam Ali says, Allah wa Rasul a'lam. Allah and His Messenger know more. Tell me, in other words. He says, Man yadribuka ala hadhihi hatta taghdibu hadhihi. In other words, he said that it will be that person who's going to make this beard of yours dyed with your blood. He's not going to be just some normal person. He's going to be the most wretched of all wretched people. A killer worthy of killing Imam Ali. That person has to be evil. The most evil of evil person. Abdurrahman ibn Muljam al-Muradi took that place. Took that place on the 18th of Ramadan, which is tonight. Imam Ali slept in the house of his daughter where he was a guest, and Ibn Muljam slept in the masjid where he was waiting for Allah's guest. That night, Imam Ali spent that night in the house of his daughter Kulthum. And there he did tell her as to what was going to happen in the morning. Kulthum told her father, why don't you send someone else? Send someone else there to pray instead of you. Imam Ali said, you cannot escape destiny. You cannot escape fate. You cannot run away from Allah's plan. This is Allah's plan. This is fate. And hence, I must go through that fate. this was a pleasure for Imam Ali. He was in such an excitement that night of meeting his fate. He went through every stage of that night restless. He slept for a while. He woke up. He was restless. Someone asked him, "Why are you restless?" He says, "I saw the messenger in my dream. I saw Rasulullah in my dream, and he was telling me, 'Ali, it is time for you to come to me now. I have waited too long and I have been separated from you for too long. Come here. I am waiting for you, and your wife Fatima is waiting for you. It's been a long time, Ali.'" Imam Ali, as he stepped out of the house, he was excited to go there. There were some ducks that were making noise. He looked at those ducks and says, "Nothing can stop me from going to what Allah is calling me to." And he went there, woke up everyone, gave the azan, woke up everyone, even came to Ibn Muljam, woke him up, looked at him. This wasn't the first time that he looked at him. He had seen him before. But this time he looked at him and he said, "I know what you're going to do, but I cannot punish you because you haven't done it yet." He then goes and starts his mustahab prayer. The plan of Ibn Muljam was to strike Imam Ali while he's in prayer, because Imam Ali is so engrossed in prayer, he doesn't care of anything that is happening around him. Ibn Muljam came there with his sword. That sword, the arrangement was made to drench it in poison that will annihilate, and it would execute the person who gets this poison inside of him. Any target that gets this poison inside of him is going to eliminate that target. And that poison was used in that sword. And the sword that was drenched in that poison, Ibn Muljam ran towards Imam Ali as he went into sajda, the first sajda, and as he was getting up, he just struck the head of Imam Ali in such a way that a huge gash came in the head of Imam Ali. The blood started to spurt out of his head. Imam Ali's head was knocked to the ground. As Ibn Muljam struck him, he saw that the sword had gone into his head. That was enough, because the poison is now inside. It will do its job. He doesn't have to strike again, because the idea was not to kill him with the sword, but to kill him with the poison. That sword was just a means of delivering the poison into the head of Imam Ali. Once the poison was in, Ibn Muljam started running away from there. And then people understood what was going on. Imam Ali now was not able to sit up straight. He was swooning from right to left. But there was something strange. Ibn Muljam, when he did this, he did not just strike Imam Ali, he struck Islam itself. He did not strike just Imam Ali, he struck justice, he struck freedom, he struck compassion and mercy. No greater helper of Islam would ever be seen. No better leader would ever be found. No kinder guide would ever be born. When Ali knew that the poison is seeping into his system and he knew that this is the end, he just called out saying, "Futtu bi Rabbil Kaaba, I am successful by the Lord of the Kaaba, I am successful." And Imam Ali started reading this ayat of Surah Taha, "Minha khalaqnakum wa fiha nu'idukum wa minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra." From this earth we have created you, and we will go back to this earth. We'll make you go back to the earth, and we will extract you there a second time, and you will be coming towards us. And Allah has taken, now is taking Imam Ali. Imam Ali is thanking Allah by saying, "Allah, thank you for this. You have given me success in this life." فَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلِبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ. محمود بحق محمد، يا علا بحق علي، يا فاطر السماوات بحق فاطمة، يا محسن بحق حسن، يا قديم الأحسان بحق حسين.
حیدر مولا علی مولا حیدر مولا حیدر مولا علی مولا حیدر مولا علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، 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 زمانہ ہے تو بالا، علی کے لگ گئی مولا،
پڑھا جبریل نے نوحہ، پڑھا جبریل نے نوحہ، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، خدا کے گھر میں لوگوں نے قیامت کا سما دیکھا، خود اپنے خون میں غلطا امام تو جہاں دیکھا، اٹھا ہے خون کا فوارہ، اٹھا ہے خون کا فوارہ، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، کیا نا پاس روزے کا بھرم رکھا نہ مسجد کا، مصلی پر بہایا خون ظالم تو نے عابد کا، بکھیرا دین کا شیرازہ، بکھیرا دین کا شیرازہ، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، علی کو مسجد کوفہ میں بے چینی ستاتی ہے، سزا بھی زینب و کلثوم کے رونے کی آتی ہے، یہ کس نے ان کو بتلایا، یہ کس نے ان کو بتلایا، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، ملانا چین زہرا ہو نبی کو اپنی تربت میں، کیا زخمی علی کو ہائے میرا بے عبادت میں، فرشتوں نے بھی سر پیٹا، فرشتوں نے بھی سر پیٹا، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، علی کے لگ گئی ضربت، تھا ستمگر تیغ کو اپنی اثر سے رک نہ جائیں آج سانسیں ہائے مولا کی ہوا سارا بدن نیلا ہوا سارا بدن نیلا علی کے لگ گئی ضربت حسنین کو آثار ہوتے ہیں یتیمی کے پدر کے جملے سن کر آنکھ سے آنسو نہیں رکتے غموں کا پھر فلک ٹوٹا غموں کا پھر فلک ٹوٹا علی کے لگ گئی ضربت غذائیں بھوکے بچوں کو مہیا جو کراتا تھا یتیموں کے لیے جو ساری دنیا میں مسیحا تھا اٹھا دنیا سے وہ سایہ اٹھا دنیا سے وہ سایہ علی کے لگ گئی ضربت زمین کا ذرہ ذرہ مبتلا ہے سوگے حیدر میں قیامت آ گئی رمضان میں حسنین کے گھر میں کسی نے کب یہ سوچا تھا کسی نے کب یہ سوچا تھا علی کے لگ گئی ضربت یتیموں کا سہارا اور بیواؤں کا وارث تھا لگا کر ضرب ظالم تو نے یہ کیسا ستم ڈھایا نگہباں کون اب ہوگا نگہباں کون اب ہوگا علی کے لگ گئی ضربت بلا کر پاس غازی کو بیاں کرنے لگے حیدر ہو تم نور نظر میرے یہ ہے اولاد پیغمبر حفاظت ان کی تم کرنا حفاظت ان کی تم کرنا علی کے لگ گئی ضربت
ہے تو مولا علی کے
मकबर ये नौहा पेश है पुर से की सूरत में कमी हो ने न पाए कोई गुलशन आज रेगत में क़यामत खेज है जुमला क़यामत खेज है जुमला अली के लग गई ज़रूरत
बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मदिन व आलि मुहम्मद अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूल अल्लाह अस्सलामु अलैका या खैर खल्क़िल्लाह अस्सलामु अलैका या नबिय्यिल्लाह अस्सलामु अलैका या अमीरल मुअमिनीन अली इब्न अबी तालिब अलैहिस्सलाम अस्सलामु अलैकुम अय्युहल इमामुल हसन वल हुसैन सय्यदै शबाबि अहलिल जन्नह अस्सलामु अलैका अय्युहल इमाम ज़ैनुल आबिदीन व मुहम्मदिल बाक़िर व जअफ़रुस सादिक़ व मूसल काज़िम وعلي الرضا السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن السلام عليك أيها الإمام محمد الجواد السلام عليك أيها الإمام العلي الهادي السلام عليك أيها الإمام الحسن العسكري السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان الأمان 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 العجلة العجلة العجل يا صاحب العصر والزمان السلام عليكم يا جميع أهل بيت النبوة ورحمة الله وبركاته
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد